Today we have discussed about some properties of gas and liquids, along with how the gaseous pollutants are controlled by different methods like adsorption, absorption, all these things. Uh, it has been in Unit 2 how gas pollutants or gaseous pollutants are controlled or monitored. So, there are different methods as you are working in the industry. Yes, you saw the different uh, methods for controlling gaseous pollutants. Can you say some instrument which can control gaseous pollutants? Have you ever gone through? आपने तो देखा होगा ना बहुत सारा. अच्छा अच्छा. नहीं फिर भी जो है जैसे कि बैक फिल्टर हो गया, इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक पेसिपिटर हो गया, ये सारे चीज इंडस्ट्री में कॉमन चीज है. तो these are So today, actually, we have discussed about some properties of liquid or gas, the interface, how gas are dissolved in liquid, or how can control the absorption of the liquid and gases. Is it visible? My screen, my screen is visible or not? Now, okay. So the question: why did the gas which be dissolve in liquid? Normally, हम ये दिस इज यूनिट टू है. हाँ, एयर क्वालिटी मॉनिटरिंग. How control your air pollution in the from the industry, how the perspectives of the air quality means how air quality is written, and how the gases pollutant can be checked or monitored through the different instrument to by before releasing to the air. Okay. So before the going to that different instrument, let's say some properties like why this did the gas dissolve in liquid. The gas and liquid which are dissolved in one is to both means the liquid is the dense matter as compared to the gas. The density of the liquid is higher as compared to the gas. So the gases having some properties to dissolve in liquid. वह जैसे कि हम लोग क्या कहते हैं, सोडा पीते हैं. तो व्हाट इज द सोडा? सोडा इज द dissolved carbon dioxide dissolved in water, that is called normal soda. So like that, here the gases are penetrate into the liquid or dissolve in the liquid. As in previous classes we have also studied about the dissolved oxygen, that means oxygen, pure oxygen dissolved in the water. So this property of dissolving, the ability to absorb or ability to dissolve the some gases to the water or some solvent or some liquid, this is what is the property and how this is dissolved. What happened in the gas? The intermolecular forces, that means intermolecular forces means the two molecules, the distance between the two molecules are deep, means higher as compared to the liquid. So in the intermolecular distance of the gases is negligible in case of gas, and in liquid or solution what happened, the intermolecular or distance is significant, means it having higher intermolecular force as compared to the gas, as compared to the from the liquid. So random collision allows stronger solute solvent to capture the gas. So this collision between the gas molecule and the liquid molecule, that atom intermolecular or intramolecular then collision, which can impact to adsorb the liquid gas molecule towards the liquid molecule. So the gas is dissolved in the liquid. In this, if this were oxygen in water, then we have to write the O2 aqueous. So we have to in a written form, O2 aqueous means if there is oxygen in water, water inside the water there is oxygen, then we have to write in the form of O2 aqueous. Aqueous means the oxygen which is inside the water. If we have write CO2 aqueous means carbon dioxide inside the water. If only it is gas, then only we have to write O2, O2 gas bracketed G. we can write like that. So if it is written as O2 aqueous, that means you have to understand that this oxygen is the dissolved oxygen present in the water. Next, the effect of solubility. This is called solubility of the one gas in the solution. Means solution have the capacity to solubilize some other gases or other substance or solute, that is called solute. In this case, the oxygen is the solute and the solvent or that water is called solvent. So this solvent having the capacity to dissolve the solute, and this capacity is called solubility capacity or because solubility. So what is solubility? It is a measure how much solute can be dissolved in a solvent. Here it, in this case, the oxygen is solute and the water is called solvent. So the हम्म, अच्छा, वॉइस नहीं आ रहा है। अच्छा अच्छा, अभी सुनाई दिया? हेलो, हेलो। हाँ हाँ, ओके ओके, क्या क्या नेटवर्क कभी कभी नहीं आता है। ठीक है, तो अभी क्या है, जो सॉल्युबिलिटी, व्हाट इज द सॉल्युबिलिटी? सॉल्युबिलिटी इज द एबिलिटी टू एब्जॉर्ब सॉल्यूट मॉलिक्यूल टू द सॉल्वेंट, मीन द कैपेसिटी टू डिजॉल्व सॉल्यूट मॉलिक्यूल to the solvent. This is called solubility, the capacity of dissolving the solute to solvent. This property is called solubility. In dissolve oxygen case, oxygen is called solute and water is called solvent. So the capacity to dissolve oxygen, how much oxygen that is dissolved in the solute, how much oxygen is dissolved in the water, that is the solubility capacity. So intermolecular forces is the main important parameter for dissolving or the capacity of the solubility of the solvent. Means the the solubility amount of solute that dissolve, which depends on the intermolecular force of the both solute and solvent. So the number of collision increases between the gases and water molecules. That means the number of solubility or number of absorbing the solid molecule also increases. And also it depends on the number of mole of the gas and the number of or the volume holding the gas. Number of mole means how much gas will be contact to the water surface, that is the surface area, contact surface area also depends. So another parameter which indirectly depends, that is called pressure. If the pressure increases, then the solubility also increases. So there are three parameters. One is called intermolecular forces, another is called number of moles, third is volume of the holding gases, and last is called pressure. These four parameters are mainly depends on the solubility of the solvent. And this solubility solvent that is governed by the Henry's law. It is called Henry's law. What is it said that at constant temperature, let's temperature keep constant, then the amount of the given gases that dissolves in the given type of volume liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas at equilibrium with that liquid. That means Henry law state what it states. If the temperature remain constant, then the amount of the gas, here say it is only for dissolving gas in liquid. This Henry's law holds good. So how much amount of the gas will be dissolved is directly proportional to the pressure of the liquid at equilibrium state. Let's say what is the equation. The solubility depends on the solute solvent solute interaction. Difference of the differs for different molecules, means for different solvent their solubility also different, increases decreases. So the interaction depends on the Henry law constant. That means you see the Henry's law is solubility equal to Kh into P gas. Solubility, S gas is equal solubility of the gas, Kh equal to the constant or Henry's constant, and P gas is the partial pressure of the uh, gas at the equilibrium. So S means solubility is directly proportional to the pressure of the gases at equilibrium. This is called Henry's law. Is Henry's law state that the what how much amount of the solute, that means only gases, not solid. Solute means here you have to consider only gases, not solid. And how much amount of gases that can dissolve in solvent. This it is stated by the Henry's law. Here the S is the amount of gas that can dissolve in the liquid depends on the following, and Ks is the Henry's constant and is a constant value. It also depends on the which liquid you have to dissolve the gases. Then depends on which gases. How matlab, it is oxygen or carbon dioxide, SO2, NO2, which gases, and it also depends on the temperature. The here is temperature is constant, but the constant of Henry constant also depend on temperature. Means if what is the temperature constant, means it 35 degree or it is 45 degree, this matlab solubility depends at the temperature. And the P is the amount of the pressure of space in the above liquid. Means above liquid, the what is the pressure of the gas that is kept contact with the liquid. These three parameters are most important for the find of the solubility of the parameter. What is the three parameter? One is called temperature. At which temperature it solubility we have to calculate. Second is the partial pressure of the gas, the surface at the which the gas is kept contact, and third is the Henry constant. Constant is the constant also depends on the type of liquid and type of gases. For different type of liquid and gases, their constant value is different. So what next? These gases that can be dissolved in the liquid or the solubility. There are two types of gases phenomena. One is called absorption. One is called adsorption. So adsorption, there is no dissolving or nothing, that it can be only stick to the upper surface. That means in water molecule is there and the oxygen molecule is there. In case of adsorption, what happened? The molecule have the ability to attract the oxygen or molecule, and just it holds above the water surface, not dissolving or not solubilized. That is called adsorption. But here is absorption, absorption. So absorption is the process where transfer of gaseous components from the gas phases to the liquid phases takes place. Here mixing takes place. Absorption means. More specifically in air pollution control, absorption involve the removal or object objectable gases contaminated from the process stream by dissolving them in liquid. So if there is industrial, there are big stacks are there where the gaseous or gas pollutants are released to the air. So before releasing to the air, what happens? This let's say in case of thermal power plant. Thermal power plant, what is the major important part of gases that can be released? That is SO2 or NO2. Main is the SO2 or SOx. SO2. What is the sulfur dioxide? It having the coal content. If the coal contains sulfur as impurities and low quality of coal are used, then what happen? It while combustion process, the sulfur dioxide amount is very high, and that can be released to the atmosphere. So before releasing to the atmosphere, what uh, we have to check the sulfur dioxide content, and only carbon dioxide that can be we have to release. So what we have to do? The gases are passed through a stream of liquid. So gases are bubbles in the stream of liquid, and after that we have to pass. Then only carbon dioxide will be released and sulfur dioxide will be captured or absorbed at that liquid. So this process is called absorption. I mean capturing a particular contaminated liquid, contaminated air pollutant, that is, let's say example sulfur dioxide, in a solvent, particular solvent. The solvent may be water, may be other solvent, that may be any solvent, which have the capacity to absorb the pollutant, gaseous pollutant. So there are two things are there. One is called absorbent and one is called absorption. What is absorption? Absorption is the process where the matlab transfer of gases to the liquid phase. And what is absorbent? Absorbent is the liquid or the solvent that is used. The liquid, usually water is used, into which contaminated or absorbed. Normally water is the most solvent or most where you use water, because water is mostly available, or it can be easily absorb the gaseous phase or gaseous pollutants. And absorbate, one is called absorbent and it's called absorbate. Absorbate is the nothing but the solute or the contaminated gases or polluted gases. In this terms of absorption, solvent, normally solvent is called absorbent, and the solute that is called absorbate. You have to remember this. What is the absorbate and what is the absorbent? The gaseous contaminators being absorbed, such as SO2, H2S, these are the gaseous impurities that can be trapped by this water. After passing through the water, these SO2, H2S are trapped inside the water, and only other carbon dioxide, all these things are released. So to trap these gaseous pollutants, the gaseous impurities gases are passed through water to capture these impurities. Then analytical carrier gases. The inert portion of the gaseous stream, usually air from the contaminated, is the removed. Carrier gases means the only gases that is means air. Here it is air. Along with air, SO2, H2S, carbon dioxide, all these things are present. So the inert portion of the gas is called carrier gases. What is interface? Interface is the area where the gas phase and the absorbent contact with each other. That means absorbent and absorbate, where it can be contact to each other for the absorption process. This is called interface, where both solvent and solute can interact. Means the surface of the water, that is called absorbate. That is called interface. What is solubility? Is the capacity to dissolve the gas in the liquid. So these are the important things you have to remember. The process of absorption. In absorption, there are two things are there. One is called absorbent, one is called absorbate. Absorbent means solvent, mostly water. Absorbate means solute, mostly the polluted gases. And the air is called as carrier gases. And the where the both air and water are intact for absorption process, this is called interface. And the solubility is the capacity to dissolve the liquid. So mechanism how the absorption process takes place. In step one, the pollutant diffuses from the bulk area of the gaseous phase to the gas of the liquid phase. That means the solute pollutant that diffuse in a bulk area of gaseous phase, means when the water or the pollutant gases are released, means come contact to each, the interface between the water and gases or the absorbent, the uh, transfer process takes place. The gaseous step to the gaseous pollutant transfer across the interface to the liquid phase, and the second step is extremely rapid. Means the transfer of gaseous pollutant to the water or liquid phase is immediately takes place. In the pollutant diffuses bulk area and making room additional gaseous molecule absorb. Means in the what happen in the surface area where the gases is passed through the liquid, the surface first layer of the water, what happen, the gases contaminated are transfer immediately take place. And next process is, if the gases that are already dissolved in the water, that can move downwards, so the no fresh water and fresh surface is available for the next absorption takes place. Means one layer of say water molecule are present on the upper side here. Means this is a one layer upper side. uh, 1 minute. Say this is the layer, okay, water molecule, this is water molecule layer, and this is the gas molecule are absorb passing through. So what happen, first case what happen, these gas pollutants are absorbed by the water molecule here. Next steps what is when this already gas pollution trapped inside the water molecule are moved to the lower side, so that the new water molecules and comes to the upper surface for that fresh intake of the that new pollutants. So this process repeatedly takes place. So that's why the capacity or the solubility is increases. So what is solubility? Solubility of the cope is contaminated effect on the amount of contaminant that can be absorbed. If there is no place to the contaminant, or more no place for the interface for the gaseous molecule and the water phase, then how the solubility, how the absorption takes place? So in order to that, the amount of the gaseous pollutant that also depend, and the availability of the area for the capture of new molecule that also depend. And this is the function of both temperature and pressure. If the temperature or pressure are the regulator for the solubility of the pollutant to the liquid phase or the gas phase. If you increase the temperature, the amount of the gas that absorbed by liquid phase decreases. That is the optimum temperature. If the temperature increases, then the absorption capacity also decreases. While increasing the pressure, absorption capacity increases. So you have to remember here, if the temperature increases, absorption capacity or solubility, what happens? Decreases. and the pressure increases, then the capacity or solubility increases. You have to remember these two things. So here one, this is how the gaseous molecules and water molecules both are came contact. This is called spray tower. What is spray tower? Is the absorbent content solution outlet. Here the exhaust gas are passed through in a tower, and where here the liquid stream is spray here. Okay, so the gases are moved through the upper side in passing through the liquid spray. So what happened? There is see there the surface is the most important. The surface is most important for the capturing of gaseous molecule. So in this case, as the liquid is spray as a droplets, the surface area is highest, or surface area is maximum. Is the we place the liquid in a just in a beaker or something like that, the only this amount of surface area is available for the absorption. For in this case, while we are sprinkling the water, there is a surface area highly increased. So there is a, it can be maximum amount of gaseous pollutant can be attached to the water surface. So if the water gas having the capacity to increase, means the solubility of the gases chances is increases. So the gases pollutants are passed through in this way, and the water are sprinkling. So what happened? The gaseous pollutant that are absorbed along with the water is come down, and only the clean gas is passed through. Okay, this is a mechanism of absorption of the gaseous pollutant in spray tower. It's called spray tower. Those water molecule are spraying inside the tower. So spray tower are useful for large volume of handling a relatively low pressure drop and high efficiency. It is required for large volume of the gases. Is the volume of the gases is large? That means in industry where the most the gaseous pollutants are there and volume is large, and there is a low pressure. Pressure means already the gases having its efficiency to the gas to move upwards. You do not have required any pressure to it moving for upwards. And the liquid are spraying as the jet spray, it's having higher efficiency or higher capacity to absorb the gas molecule. In general, smaller droplets or size greater the turbulence of the chance of the absorption. That I have said already. The small sizes air means the liquid jet is small spray, the higher the chance of the absorption of the gases. And the moisture eliminator reduce the amount of the moisture of the gases being released. Moisture eliminator, there is a moisture eliminator. Moisture eliminator is present in order to check the moisture or the water to evaporate this side. So this is the present here the as a checking of the moisture. Only the water along with the gaseous pollutants are passed through the downside. So spray tower है तो less gas liquid interface area, they are less effective. But here the effective area of the contaminated or the absorbent is more, then the efficiency is also more. See, there are different type of other. This is a systematic diagram for bubble cap and tray tower. These are different type of tray tower. This type of tray contains horizontal tray or plate that provide gas liquid interface. The gas liquid interface is the most important for the solubility or the absorption capacity of the liquid and gas. Here, what happened? The gas is uh, where the here is the inlet of the gas. Okay, here you have to put the keep the gas in, and what happened, there are the plates are there where there are different stages where the water and the uh, here the water is sprayed here. In first step, what happened, the gas has passed through here. After having contact with one stage, then the gas is again passing through here. In the second stage also there is a contaminated capacity to absorb, and again it can pass through the, so there are in different layers the gases keep contact with the liquid phase, and the as the intake or surface area increases and the different stages pass through, what happens, the maximum amount of those gases is trapped in the liquid, and the lastly finally the clean gas is passed through, where we have to put the liquid or jet water into the tower. So in this case, this tray are having jet spray or having water droplets to sprinkle the water on the opposite. This is one type of design where you have to keep maximum surface area for the contact the gas and water. Okay, due to the repeated contact of the gas and liquid, the clean air emerges. In this case, here only one stage is there, water liquid droplet. The chances of the contaminated is less. But in this case, there are different stages where passing through the gas, there are maximum chance of contaminated means surface area to get content absorbent, adsorbent, or absorbent interface or transfer takes place in the different tier or different plates or different steps. So there here the efficiency is more as compared to the previous one. So the bubble cap tray column, the contaminated gas moves upward until they strike the cap. As I said, the gas are moving from downwards to upwards, and the different stages or different bubble cap tray, there are different stages to trap the gaseous molecule. There is one different design for the absorption of gases or pollutant gases from the gases. Here, this is the details for the here. The liquid flows means water flows here and gas flows here. The different stages where this water droplets are here sprinkled, and the when gas flows here, what happened, the contents of the interface is the increases, and after that you have to gas again pass through here, and the liquid containing the contaminated are kept down one. This is another type of counter current flow peg tower. This is another type of absorption tower where in peg tower the contact time between the vapor and liquid increase by introducing packing. This is the third type where it happened. The here there is a packing material in between the tower. This is a packing material. Packing material may be sand, maybe alumina, maybe wood, dust. It may be anything. This packing material. So when the gases are passed through and the water are sprinkled upper layer, so in the packing material, what happened? The water droplets are passed slowly, and it having time to contact the water and the gases is increases. In order to increase in contact time, this packing material is used, so the efficiency also increase. The packing material has a large surface volume ratio to the large void ratio that offers minimum resistance to the gas flow. Means in packing material is kept in such a way that the water and the water pass below and the gas pass up down, मतलब upside to downside to upside. So the maximum contact time it can be retained to the absorption of the gas. And again in upper surface there is a layer for checking the what mean the moisture that cannot be go outside. So these are the different types or different designing where the gaseous contaminants are trapped or absorbed by this liquid. This is called process of absorption. In absorption process, the contaminator removal is done by passing a stream of effluent gases. That means when gases are passed through upside down and the water or liquid is passed upside down. So this solid porous material is called absorbent and the content is absorption bed. Here this porous packing material is also used as a absorption material, and this is called absorption bed. And the surface of the porous solid material attracts the holds the gases absorbed by either physical or chemical absorption. There are two type of absorption. One is called physical absorption. One is called chemical absorption. Physical absorption means only there is a no chemical reaction between the gaseous absorbate and absorbent, and chemical reaction means totally the gaseous phases that can be the pollutant that are mixed with the solution, that means it form a chemical reaction with that. The activated carbon is also used as absorbent or the packing material where the gaseous molecule are passed. So what is the physical and chemical? This is the difference. Gases or vapor molecule is weakly held to the solid surface by the intermolecular attractive forces. Chemical is the gaseous contaminator is held strongly with the solid surfaces. The packing material or bed having the mainly here used the activated carbon. Activated carbon means charcoal or activated carbon is used. Here, the strongly the gaseous contaminated is held strongly to the solid surface. That means it having strongly binds with the gaseous this absorbent, and this accompanied by the capillary conduction within the pores. There is a capillary force, or capillary is also depends on the capillary force. But here chemical reaction occurs between the absorbance and gases. Only directly chemical reaction occurs, not physical. Means not only the absorb, it is also mixing, purely mixing the chemical absorption. Physical absorption is easily reversed by the application of heat. Means if you are heated, then the contaminated gases and the absorbent or the air that is can be released or detached. But chemical reaction is irreversible. And also know that the chemical reaction is irreversible process. Means once the gases adjustment are react with the absorbent or a bed, then it cannot be reversible. So the main advantages of the physical and chemical absorption is that in physical absorption we can reuse the absorption bed by treating some heat or some different things, and we can reuse the absorption material. But in case of chemical absorption, we cannot reuse. If it is having making it higher or saturate the absorption process, then we have to just replace the absorption bed. We have to just discard the absorption bed and pack newly absorption material on that. Commonly used for capture concentration of organic compound. For organic compound, physical absorption is used, and for chemical absorption, frequently used for control by acid and gases. In case of acid and gases, this is used. You have to remember both difference between physical and chemical absorption. Gas temperature is usually maintained at the less and extremely 120 degree Fahrenheit, and for chemical absorption, higher temperature is used. Higher boiling point, greater will be the absorption. Slower the physical absorption, and amount of gas absorbed depends on the temperature and pressure. Purely depends on the temperature and pressure, but here the boiling depends on the up to the boiling point. In physical absorption, directly proportional to the surface area available, and multi-layer absorption can be takes place. That means as we have to study the contact between the absorbent and absorption is increases, then the physical absorption increases. But in chemical absorption, liberates greater amount of heat and hence require much energy. To a chemical process to occur, we have to need give energy in terms of heat or pressure. These are the difference between physical and chemical absorption. Steps in absorption process. Here this is absorption done, then article adsorption process. Adsorption is what happen. It is not a strict directly react with that, but you have to absorb the material to the solid surface. Means the surface will be absorbed. What is the step? The contaminator diffused from the bulk gases, likely similar. Here the solid surface is passed, the bulk air, air is diffused to the bulk surface area, and next is the gases that are transferred to mitigate from the internal surface to the micropores, that it can be entered to the inside of the material. This is a bulk phase, and this is the solid surface. That is come close contact. Next step is it can transfer to the inside to the uh, absorbent, and third is the contaminated are get captured. Here most the contaminated get captured inside the surface. This is the process. Then what are the silent feature of adsorption process? Adsorption process are used extremely to the large scale application having solvent vapor concentration of the range of 10 to 10,000 ppm. That means the solvent vapor concentration is more, then we have to use the adsorption process. Primary Prior to the becoming the saturated with the solvent, the adsorbent is isolated from the gas stream and drive to the solvent compound out of the solid. That means before going to the process, the solvent that can be separated by this solid surface with this gaseous absorbent, and the concentration of gas stream is high. If the pollutants are high, then more chances to absorb the more gases from or more pollutant from the gases. The dissolved gas stream also then treated, recover and reuse the solvent. If only if this is in case of only physical absorption, we can just reverse the absorb process and use the adsorption material. For absorption is cooled, the return or absorption service means for reuse we have to again we have to cool down the material. Because of the absorption treatment is takes place back service, the absorption process is terminated regenerative. This is in case of only physical absorption, not in chemical absorption. We can regenerate and use again and again. Process usually operate efficiency 90 to 98%. You have to remember this. What is the efficiency of absorption process for the absorption? That is 90 to 92%. The gases pollutant are trapped inside the absorbent material. Here, what happen? What are the packing material that is used? If alumina that is used as a packing material, then alkalized alumina is called alkali alumina process. See, this is the alkali alumina process where this is a stock. Uh, we have to gaseous pollutants are passed through the fine free dust free flue gas is there. Dust, why it is dust free? Dust free means the gaseous pollutant contains gaseous the as well as the particulate matter, that PM10 or PM2.5 or particulate matter or dust. The dust particles are separated before going to the gaseous pollutant like back filter, and we have to study in later phase. The dust free gas is passed through this absorption tower where the packing of the some absorption bed is there. In case of your use alumina, then it pass through the absorption tower, and after that it go through the regenerator means the absorption tower can be regenerated, and the gas is cooled here. After that the gas is passed through the fresh absorption and pass through the here, and then the clean gas which is passed through here and go to the stack. And the absorption process is takes place mainly in absorption tower. These are the secondary tower. This is the main absorption process. Here only alumina is used as the packing material. So this is called alkalized alumina process, because alumina is fine particles and having more surface area, while the gas can be kept or contact with a more surface area, that is higher type of absorption capacity. The alumina having higher absorption capacity of the gaseous molecules. That's why alumina is mostly used in the industry as a packing material. But there are different packing material also used, like activated carbon, and silica, activated silica I also used there. But mostly higher efficiency is delivered by the alumina. That is the alkalized alumina process. So why it is called as cyclic absorption process? Why it is called cyclic? Because we have to reuse the process and automatically. That means if the alumina is the absorbed alumina is again reused after this process, that is called cyclic. It was developed by Bureau of Mines US. Observe uses sodium aluminate. This is the chemical used. Na2OAl2O3. This alumina is bind with sodium, and it's called sodium aluminate because it is highly porous. Highly porous means it is the molecule of the alumina. Then highly porous means there is some pores inside the alumina or this sodium aluminate. That's why the more amount of gas can be trapped inside the alumina or the absorbent bed. That's why the sodium aluminate is used as the absorbent bed for the adsorption process. It is the reaction for that how SO2 it absorb inside that. The sodium aluminate is react with SO2 and oxygen to form NO2 SO4 plus also this is it. This is the different compound which are gas trapped inside the what pore of the alumina. And this product above reaction is contact with the reducing gas H2 to regenerate. If this product or this alumina is passed again through hydrogen gases, then again the sodium aluminate is regenerated. See here, this sodium aluminate is regenerated if the hydrogen gas is passed through the process, and this is again used as reabsorb the sodium SO2 molecules, and this is called as a cyclic aluminum processes. So today what we have learned today, can you summarize? So today, what you have learned, just summarize in few sentences. Hmm. Yes. The main parameter is called solubility or solubility parameter, and the solubility is depends on which parameter. What is the parameter that solubility depends? Yes, mostly pressure and temperature. And another thing is the volume, and the most important thing depends, that is contaminated or surface area. How much the gases and the absorbent or the liquid that will be contact to each other. If the surface area increases, the absorption also increases. So there are two types of mainly trapped the gaseous pollutant. One is called absorption, one is called absorption. If the liquid material is used, then it's called absorption, and the solid packing material used, then it's called absorption. Here, where we have both cases, there are the content of the surface area that also depends how the gaseous molecules are trapped or inside the surface area. In case of absorption process, there are, we have to now actually the solute is called absorbate, and the solvent is called absorbent. These are the parameter. And the carrier gas means the whole gas without contaminant, means the pollutant gas is called absorb carrier gas. And what is interface is the contact between the gas and the liquid phase. Okay, so there are three types of spray towers there. One is called normal spray tower, another is called bubble cap spray tower, another is called counter current flow pack tower. There are three type of tower that can be used, or different designing that can be used for the absorption process. And in all cases, what you have to keep, in all cases, the main important is to the flow the gaseous or pollutant gases from below downside to upside, and the liquid can be spray from the upside to the downside. And the for maximum contact, or to increase the contact of the liquid and water surface, the spray water is spraying from upside down for the maximum absorption process. What are the different material used for absorption process? For adsorption process, mainly alumina or silica or what happened? This is activated carbon. There are three components or three types of adsorbent material that can be used. One is called activated carbon, another is called activated alumina, one is called activated silica or sand. These three are the packed or packing material that can be used in the adsorption process. So there is a question in exam. Main important question is, what are the difference between physical absorption and chemical absorption? This is the important. Physical absorption means there is no chemical reaction, only adhere of the gaseous molecule to the packing material, that is called physical absorption. And physical absorption, the most important advantages is it can regenerate to the adsorbent material and used repeatedly after regeneration. Just applying some heat or applying some gaseous molecules, the absorbent material is reused. But in chemical absorption, what happened? The absorbent material is, we have to discard that. One, the capacity of absorption is full or the material get full, then you have to refill with the new type of absorbent. So the cost of the pollutant or removal pollutant is increased in case of chemical reaction. But in physical absorption, the operating cost is low as compared to the chemical absorption. That's why most of the cases physical absorption is used for this removal of the gaseous pollutant. Hmm. Okay, next is called air pollution prevention and control. Next slide. Let's just initiate some few slides here. What is physical control? Is my screen is visible to you? Okay. So, in case of last slide, we have studied the how to the remove the gaseous pollutant. That means carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, like that. मतलब gaseous pollutants can be removed from the ga- means absorbent, or the process called absorption or adsorption. How to remove the gaseous pollutant from the air. But the air pollution does not only contain the gaseous pollutant; it also contains some particles. That is called, what is called, PM10 and PM2.5. PM10 is particulate matter or size is 2.5 micron, and PM2010 is called particle size or 10 micron. These are two basically small particulate matter that can be come, that is in the polluted air along with the different gaseous pollutant. So it is important to remove all the gaseous pollutant as well as the particular matter or the dust particles. It's mainly called dust particle. So we have already know, when the road is got dusty, what happened in municipality, they spray water or sprinkle water to just remove the control the dust pollution in the road. That is one simpler method to control the air pollution. Simple method. That simple method is also used in case of some industry. What happened? They also spray some, sprinkle some water to control the dust particle. Here you cannot say that it is the cannot control the gaseous pollutant. Only the dust particle or the particular, in terms of dust we call it a particular matter. The particular matter is controlled by just sprinkling water for to control the dust. This is the easiest method. But there are different method which can be used to control the particulate matter or the air, control the air pollution. So there are three type of approach. One is called source control, another is called pathway control, one is called receptor control. So what is source control? Source control means when the where the air polluted get generated, we just control the at that site only. That is called source control. If there is some gases, I mean some air pollutants which can be generated. That means in case of, let's say, vehicle. In our vehicle, what happened? The gaseous combustion takes place, and the silencer, we have the gaseous pollutants are just released to the air. So first motive is to check or minimize the gaseous pollutant to release the air. So we have to, what we have to done, we have to check, the engine condition. If the engine is not good, the capacity of combustion is not good, then there is always incomplete combustion takes place and the air pollutant get increased, where we can control in the source. So we have to just maintain our engine, maintain the capacity or the of the engine. That is called source control. We have to just minimize the air pollution before let out to the atmosphere. That is called source control. Another is called pathway control. Pathway control means if there is minimum amount of the air pollutant can generate, and for generation process to the release process, means for the that between the engine and the exhaust, that is called silencer. This is called pathway control. Pathway control means the condense or the trap the maximum amount of pollutant at that before releasing to the atmosphere with some device. That is called pathway control. Another called receptor control. Receptor control means, let's say, somehow some air pollutants are released to the atmosphere. So what happen, what we have to do, we just check the air pollutant before inhaling to our system. What can we do? we just keep our marks in the mouth. That's why we can control the air pollutant to inhale. This is called receptor, where the pollutant that can be affected at that area we can check at that time. That's called receptor control. So there are three type of approaches to control the pollution. Source control means siding of industry, where industrial that is, source control also there are two type of source. One is called point source, one is called non-point source. Point source means industrial that chimney that can be fixed, that is called point source. Non-point source means the vehicle, our transportation process, that is called non-point source, where all where the pollutant gas can be released to the atmosphere. So siting of industry, transformation of waste gases material into usable product. This is the before releasing to the gases or before releasing to the air pollution to the atmosphere. Let's we have to transfer the waste gases to the some new useful product. That is one also method. That is end of pipe treatment. End of pipe treatment means before releasing to the atmosphere we have to pass the air to the in different industry, like if the pollutant that can be generated in the steel plant that can be used as a raw material for the fertilizer plant. Then before releasing to the atmosphere or before releasing to the just in environment, we can reuse the end product of pollutant from the one is in the raw material is the different type of. This is called end pipe treatment. And fourth is called cleaner technology. That means we have to design our technology such way the minimum pollution can be generated. That is called cleaner technology, or no pollution can be generated. That is called uses of source control. The optimization of process, if there is some process or the methods we have to implement to minimize the of pollution or pollutant, the production of the pollutant gases or pollutant in the process itself. And next is control combustion. Control combustion means, can you give one example how control combustion can be minimize the gaseous pollutant in environment? Best example is in our when we are riding our bike or car, there is a means advisory that you can keep your bike from 40 to 50 kilometers per hour, not exceed to 50, 70, 80, 90, 100 kilometers. What is it means? If run the bike in that optimum speed, then what happen? The efficiency of engine is best at that speed. That means indirectly way the combustion process is or combustion efficiency is more at that speed, at that condition, as well as the environment you also get clean, or the minimum of the pollutant can be released to the environment. That's why the fuel efficiency also increases. That's why this is called control combustion. Last is use of cleaner raw material or fuel. Obviously, when there are two types of petrol, diesel are available. One is called normal, one is called extra premium. Why we have to give extra money to buy the extra premium fuel? Because extra premium fuel having higher efficiency of the combustion as well as higher cleaner technology we have used to make this fuel. There's some extra amount of charge, and this extra amount we have charged for that cleaner fuel is to control the pollution for the environment. So these are the source control, different source control method by which we can reduce the or minimize the pollution at the source itself. Pathway, green belt development contains high walls. These are the pathway control. Pathway means when the air pollutant are pass, we have to just check it from movement to one place to another place. As in industry, they have developed green belt, means plantation of the tree around of the industrial, or in case of cement plant, what happened? The cement dust are released to the atmosphere. That's why it is mandatory for the environment. They have to guidelines that they have first develop a green belt. That means they can plant or plantation some tree around the industry to check the movement of the pollutant from that place to the other different place, or having high wall. That is not so much control of the checking methods. Then the receptor control, atmospheric stability condition, aerodynamic effect. These receptor controls, it also depends these parameters. These parameter means how the air pollutant that already released to the atmosphere that can be come to contact with the humans or other organisms or plants or other things. I mean how these are the parameters which can depends to the receptor. Receptor means where it can be contact or contactness of the pollutant to the organism itself. The what are the different parameters that depends this transformation of or movement of the air pollutant to the receptor or to the human beings. Let's say human beings or some animals, organisms or plants. That means how we can or what are the parameters that can be affected to transfer that. One is called atmospheric stability condition. In last class we have studied the plume behavior, different plume behavior, and plume behavior is what means plume behavior is depend mostly to the atmospheric stability. Have you remember? Did you remember what is atmospheric stability? What is the meaning of atmospheric stability? Stability. Atmospheric stability means movement of air to the in the atmosphere. It depends on the two types of thing. One is called inversion and one is called lapse rate. Remember na lapse rate. Lapse rate means the temperature profile of the air at the time. If the while going from downward to upward, the temperature or is normally decreases while going to the downward to upward in the atmosphere. The temperature normally decreases, and this phenomena is called the lapse rate. And the inverse is called inversion. If the temperature increases when going to upward, then it's called inversion condition. And this lapse rate or inversion, this is the two factors for atmospheric stability. If the temperature inversion takes place, atmospheric more stable. If the lapse rate is high, that means atmospheric unstable. That means air is flow here and there. So if atmosphere is unstable, that means air pollutant can disperse easily. If atmosphere is stable, then air pollution is stuck in the particular field and cannot move easily. That's why the health of the environment is degraded at that, or the quality of air is degraded because atmosphere is stable. So always the for a better movement or better dispersion of the air pollutant, atmosphere must be unstable or movement of air must be takes place. This is called atmospheric stability condition. It also depends for the movement of the air pollutant to the receptor. Next is called aerodynamic effect. Aerodynamic effect will also same movement of the air from one place to another place, and this is depends on the temperature difference. It atmospheric stability is mainly depends on the higher profile, lower profile to higher profile. For aerodynamic effect is the horizontal condition, that means in sea to the land, or that means that is in horizontal direction. If some pressure difference or temperature difference takes place, then air movement takes place. This is called aerodynamic effect. If there is also no aerodynamic effect, that means atmospheric is stable. The high aerodynamic effect means there is movement of the air takes place. So the gaseous pollutant or the pollutants that how it will disperse, how it will affect the environment, that also depends on the how it is comes or contact to the receptor. That also depends on the aerodynamic effect. Next, we got albedo effect. Just remember that what is albedo effect. Albedo effect is called uh, actually albedo effect is when uh, that sea level and the in case of mainly it occurs mainly contact between coastal area where the sea, where the water body and the land that is come contact at is that time, that is called, because the above the sea surface, the water surface, the air is got hot at the night time. Daytime, what happens? The air, the water molecule that evaporates, and while evaporate the or the humidity of the water, humidity above the sea level get increases in daytime, and in night time, what happens? The air from the water surface get transferred to the land, and the air from the land get transferred to the water surface or the above sea, and this movement of air is called albedo effect. And next is called heat island effect. What is heat island effect? Somehow, sometimes what happen, one particular places the temperature is get increased abnormally due to different things, due to the atmospheric condition, due to the aerodynamic effect, it may be anything. Because a particular place, the amount of the temperature get increases abnormally as compared to the other, because at at that place maybe there is a industry, maybe pollution get, means the air pollutant may be high, maybe there is no plantation, means maybe arid region is there. So in that particular region, what happens, the temperature get increased normally. This is called a heat island effect, means one particular island type of, that means heat is increases. Next is called ventilation coefficient. Ventilation coefficient means if there is a room where you are there, you are the receptor. If there is no ventilation, proper ventilation in that room, and some air pollutants are come inside the room, then what happens, it cannot disperse easily. So your efficiency to come contact with the air pollutant is chances is high. So if the ventilation, more or proper ventilation is there where the receptors resides, means there is a low chance of affection of the air pollutant. So proper ventilation also needed for the proper dispersion. Next, optimization between concrete concreting and non-concreting urban surface area. This is the now as a new types of effect which can be control the means, dispersion of air pollutants. Nowadays all the surface of the ground is concrete, make concrete for the better or increase or urbanization, or making some township, we can make just concrete the ground surface, where the air pollutant that can does not absorb to the soil surfaces. But in case of villages area, what happen, most of the area is non concrete, that means is natural condition where the exchange of air pollutant can disperse the soil surface or settle down the PM10 or PM20 could gases pollutants, they can just settle down to the earth. That is called non concrete or surface area. It also depends where you reside. Are you reside in a town, are you village, or in a hilly area, or a Himalaya? If you are going to the, like if you are having more vegetation is there, mm, you can get cleaner air there if the pollution level is low. If you are residing in the concrete area, then the higher pollution, you can just susceptible to higher pollution. Next is the optimization between vertical and horizontal expansion of urban area. Where you have to stay, you are staying at the ground floor or you are staying at the 32th floor. These also depends how you are affected to the pollutant. These are the different parameters or different control for the source pollutant. So for today this much. Next class we have to discuss the different parameters or different level of that. Okay. नेक्स्ट क्लास इंडस्ट्रियल स्पेसिफिक। हाँ, बोलिए। हाँ हाँ, ये इम्पोर्टेंट है। इसमें क्या होगा ना, आपका बहुत सारे चीज़ें नया मिलेगा देखने के लिए, क्योंकि ये गैसियस पोल्यूटेंट कैसे कंट्रोल करेंगे। अभी ये जो स्लाइड है, ये जो पीपीटी है अभी जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं ना, ये कम से कम कितना स्लाइड है इसका, एक मिनट, इसका 82 स्लाइड्स है। ये तो नहीं खत्म होगा, 2 दिन लगेगा इसको अच्छे से पढ़ने में। ठीक है, अभी तो शाम को 7 बजे फिर से चालू करेंगे ना। ठीक है। हाँ 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 हाँ, वो कर दूंगा, वो पहले वाला भी कर दूंगा और रात में ये वाला भी कर दूंगा। ठीक है। ओके। बाय।